Muppets From Space. No, would you look at that? $4 mail-in rebate when you purchase 4 Mondo 6-packs. Muppets From Space on home video. This was actually the Muppet movie I remember best as a kid, and it was always ingrained in my mind because lo and behold, 5th grade, my teacher, drunk as shit yet again, was on Muppets From Space. And little old Junko didn't know what Noah's Ark was at first when it showed up in the opening scene, causing my classmates to go ballistic. Duh, you don't know about the guy with the boat? Sorry, some of us didn't grow up reading that mainstream shit. There's only one good book I'm aware of. And you know what? I'll say it. Muppets From Space is good. It's so weird that this one is associated with the cinematic death of the Muppets, being this box office flop that's regarded as some major low point for the series. And you know, now having seen every Muppet film, I kinda see why this one is seen as underwhelming. But that's really all it is. It's underwhelming in the grand scheme of the Muppet cinematic universe. If you judge it on its own though, no matter what, this one is just hilarious. I swear to God, my God, is it funny.
Is breakfast over?
No, why?
Because I think the bacon just ran out.
In quite a dramatic change of pace, this one follows Gonzo as the central character. It'd be like if Seinfeld got a movie, but it was just about Kramer. You see, Gonzo, long being referred to as a whatever, sorta has an identity crisis, questioning where he came from, feeling he doesn't have a sense of belonging and family like the other Muppets.
Gonzo, you are not a one-of-a-kind freak. You're a
whatever?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you see what I mean? I don't even know where I came from or who I am.
Side note, I have a strange obsession with this picture Gonzo has of himself on a beach. It's slightly unsettling, kind of the same energy as those vision tests with the house and the hot air balloon. And I love it so much, I ended up getting it framed. And I will always beat myself up about missing out on the auction to buy the actual prop from the movie. That would have been so cool. Instead, all I have are Mondos. This movie also cinematically marks the first time in 15 years that we get to see the Muppets as themselves, not playing different characters or thrust into a different setting, and you know what? It's kind of nice. It's neat to see them all live together crammed into this frat house. I like this slice of Muppet Life shit. And at this point it does feel like these characters are a family and have been through so much together. And also, surprisingly, this one forgoes being a musical and just has the Muppets kind of just jamming to some, now that's what I call Funk 15 Funk Party classics. And you know what? I don't think the movie is any less for it. It still feels just as wholesome and entertaining as the films that came before it. So, Gonzo starts receiving strange alien messages in his cereal, believing his family from outer space is trying to contact him.
Are you there? Rizzo!
Of course, this makes Gonzo look absolutely batshit, but meanwhile you have Jeffrey Tambor working for a secret government agency trying to intercept those signals and capture Gonzo and his family of invaders. It's really light on plot, but it makes up for it by being hilarious. You have Pepe in his Muppet movie debut, and Rizzo thrust into a bigger role, with Rizzo being Gonzo's roommate, and honestly, their relationship here is so sweet. I'm so glad they kind of built this bond between them after we saw them paired together in the last two. It really does pay off in a pretty sweet way.
I think before you answer that question, you better be real clear on the final destination of that finger.
Miss Piggy is also just like peak hilarity in this one, with her being a total fraud, claiming to be a bigwig talk show host when she's really just the coffee girl. And being the unstoppable force that she is, she does manage to commandeer the show.
Hey, look, it's Piggy's new show!
So the government agency, led by Daddy Horny Michael, managed to pinpoint Gonzo's location and take him in for dissection. But the Muppets aren't gonna let their friend just get tooken without a fight. Of course, you got your cameos too, things like Ray Liotta being the Area 51 security guard, and Kathy Griffin, who gets sexually assaulted by Animal and, likes it?
Please, listen to me! You can't leave me! I need you!
So Gonzo and the Muppets end up escaping just in time for the landing of Gonzo's alien family. And yep, they're here. That's them. It's just a family of Gonzos. Yeah, this is kind of the worst part. I mean, the whole movie builds up to this big finale, and it's just exactly what you'd expect. It's just Gonzo's species, they're here. They do a big dance number, and Gonzo's like, but I actually have a family the whole time. It feels a little too bland. The original script supposedly had these visitors being imposters. Extraterrestrials had intercepted signals of, get this, The Muppet Show, and being huge fans of Gonzo's segments. Thus, at the end of the original script, Gonzo stays being a whatever rather than being an alien. That just sounds way more interesting and more true to the spirit of the character in the series. As it stands now, it seems like they took Gonzo's song from the first movie way too literally. Don't get me wrong, I can definitely see why this one was viewed so unfavorably and bombed at its release. The story itself is really weak and not very eventful. Do I think it was really weak enough to be the nail in the coffin for theatrical Muppets for so long? Definitely not. If anything, all the reasons critics didn't like it are qualities I actually really appreciate about it. I like that this one is smaller in scope. I like that it's just the Muppets being themselves, and that Gonzo and Pepe and Rizzo get larger roles. And ultimately, this one is just really funny, and to me, that's good enough. In no way is this movie some tragedy or desecration of everything the Muppet fandom holds dear. There's really just not enough here to latch onto to really get worked up about. It's not near the quality of most of the Muppet movies before it, but it is one I find so highly rewatchable and fun. I like that they were bold enough to put the spotlight on different characters, and it's so funny that it makes up for whatever weaker aspects there might be. Muppets From Space, a somewhat weaker Muppet movie, but still absolutely hilarious. Should not have killed the Muppets in film.
Okay, well, from this point on, no matter what happens, we never forget one of our own.
That's wrong. Cheese twiddle?